أحمد إليكم الله تعالى لا إله إلا هو وصلي وسلم على رسول الله. Could you please come a bit forward to allow more space for us? When Islam came as a message to the Prophet ﷺ in the world, there was a system. The system was actually slavery system. There were slaves and there were masters. And this system was worldwide. And this system was a fundamental system on which the basics of economics at that time were built. So those were actually the economical tool to have the economy running on earth. But when Islam came, since actually being slave to a person does not assure you a free will, so Islam made it very important to try to liberate and to free all the slaves. And just to give you an idea that slaves do not have free will, in Bay'at al-Aqaba, when Hind bint Uqba was told that she will swear that she will not fornicate. So her immediate answer was, and does a free person, a free woman, does she fornicate? Because it was actually associated with losing your will, that you will do the wrong thing. But if you are free, you don't need to do it. So even in the Jahiliyyah time before Islam, only slaves were considered that they will have to commit things they don't want to because they don't have free will. And this is why actually dictatorship produces people who are weak, who lie, who do not fulfill the mission required from them, who can't utilize their capacities and power. There is very interesting topic in fiqh. In the books of fiqh, there is a famous problem. If a child was found and the child, they don't know the parents of the child, and two women came to the judge, a Muslim woman and a Christian woman. The Muslim woman says, he is my slave, and the Christian woman says, he is my son. Both do not have evidence or proof. With consensus among the scholars of fiqh, he is given to the Christian woman, not to the Muslim woman. Because freedom is before religion. If you have freedom, you accept religion. But if she takes you as a slave, then you are depriving one important thing that will make you, and this is actually with consensus of the scholars of fiqh. They say it in Arabic, al-hurriya muqaddama ala ad-din. Freedom is before, freedom to have free will is before religion. But when Islam came, slavery was very common. So the Prophet ﷺ used to say things that encourage freeing the slaves. So there is hadith that says, لا يقل أحدكم لمملوكه عبدي وأمتي وليقل فتاي وفتاتي. Don't say to a person that you own, mamluk, that is a slave for you, you are my slave, whether for male or female, but say you are my son or my daughter. So this was culturally changing. The Prophet used to try to change the culture of the people to realize that there is no slavery. And then some of the other ahadith, the Prophet says, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, ثلاثة أنا خصمهم يوم القيامة ومن كنت خصمه كنت خصيمه. And among those three, وَرَجُلٌ بَاعَ حُرًّا فَأَكَلَ ثَمَنَهُ. Three, that I am their enemy in the day of judgment. Among them is a person who sold a slave and, who sold a free man and he actually benefited from that money. That means that you don't have slavery anymore. You can't buy slave anymore. You have to free him. And of course, and there is also another hadith, ثلاثة لا يقبل الله منهم صلاة منهم رجل اعتبد محررة. Three, Allah does not accept their prayers. Among them is a person that will make a free person his slave. Allah will not accept his prayer. So you don't go to an oppressed person and make him your slave. It does not, by the way, necessarily mean that he is your slave that you own, but to exercise oppression on him, taking advantage of his weakness. And of course, we remember the saying of Umar ibn al-Khattab رضي الله عنه, متى استعبدتم الناس وقد ولدتهم أمهاتهم أحرارا when did you consider people your slaves when their mothers gave birth to them free? And Islam also put a way to wipe your sins to free slaves. There were slaves, there were some sins. In order to wipe out them, you need to do what's called kafara, to wipe them out. Among those sins, for example, was al-yamin al-mughallaza, certain yameen, swear that you do not fulfill. And the first way to do kafara to that sin is to free a slave. Among them also is if you kill a person by a mistake in an accident, for example, the first thing is to free a slave. So there are also different rights that Islam paid attention to regarding freedom, regarding free will. And one of them is intellectual freedom. And what is meant by this in Arabic is al-hurriyyah al-fikriyya. What is meant by this is that a scholar or a judge has the whole freedom, the full freedom to say a ruling on something that does not have a clear proof or evidence from Quran and Sunnah. And if his judgment is wrong, he is rewarded for this. So Islam protects the right of a scholar or a judge or a person to judge even if the judgment was going to be wrong, and he will be rewarded for this, to protect your intellectual freedom. And in this, the hadith says, إذا اجتهد الحاكم, and the hakim here, the ruler here is, إذا اجتهد, I'll say it in Arabic firstly, إذا اجتهد الحاكم فأخطأ فله أجر وأن اجتهد فأصاب فله أجران. If the person who is to rule makes his mind to decide what is right and what is wrong, if he was wrong on his decision, he will take one reward, and if he is right, he will take two rewards. He will not be punished for this. Political freedom, which means that you have the freedom to exercise any position you like on this earth and to actually acquire it. And the ayah says, اجعلني على خزائن الأرض إني حفيظ أمين. Yusuf alayhi salam was talking, make me like a finance minister on those in Egypt. And Abu Dhar was asking the Prophet, do you not use me, do you not put me in charge, ألا تستعملني? And the Prophet was answering him, إنها لأمانة وإنها يوم القيامة خزي وندامة إلا من قام بحقها. It's a trust, it's difficult unless if you really fulfill it the right way. But the Prophet did not tell him, how can you ask to be in charge? Because it's your right, it's your free will, it's your freedom. And also among those is the freedom of expression. And actually our history and the seerah of the Prophet is full of this. The Prophet in Ghazwat Badr, in Badr battle, he was asking the people, Ashiru alayya ayyuhan nas. Do we go in this battle or not? And he kept asking until he listened to everyone, and he wanted to listen to Al-Ansar at that time. So Ashiru alayya ayyuhan nas, give me your opinion. Do we go for this fight or not? So this is actually your freedom of expression. And with Sayyidina Umar, people used to tell him, اتق الله يا أمير المؤمنين. And some of the companions were unhappy with this. How can one of the people tell Umar, the most just ruler, اتق الله يا أمير المؤمنين, fear Allah. And he said, لا بارك الله فينا إن لم نسمعها ولا بارك فيكم إن لم تقولوها. May Allah does not bless us if we don't listen to it, and may Allah does not bless you if you don't say it. So that's freedom of expression. And the last rights, there are so many rights which are described as civil rights, including the way you dress, and your right of ownership, owning things, your right of travel, your right of gathering with people, and the right of taking certain knowledge and science, choosing this, and your right of doing certain profession. All those things in Islam have evidences from ahadith that these are your pure rights. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم. اللهم اغفر لنا ذنوبنا كلها دقها وجلها صغيرها وكبيرها سرها وعلنها ما علمنا وما لم نعلم. اللهم تقبل منا القليل تجاوز عن التقصير. اللهم يا رب تقبل قليل الأعمال. اللهم يا رب بارك في نياتنا. اللهم اجعل عملنا خالصا لوجهك الكريم. اللهم يا رب عليك ببشار الأسد فإنه لا يعجزك. اللهم يا رب كن لإخواننا في سوريا. اللهم يا رب كن لهم. اللهم سامحنا على تقصيرنا في حقهم. اللهم يا رب سامحنا على تقصيرنا في حقهم وتجاوز عنا يا أرحم الراحمين. إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون. فاذكروا الله العظيم يذكركم واشكروه على نعمه يزدكم واسألوه من فضله يعطكم وأقم الصلاة.